Okay, so, Mom, uh, during the time that you had a horse, how's that story start? How old are you?
Okay. Um, I was probably 17 when I got my horse.
Okay, so you were.
Dad and Helen left Kentucky and went to Indiana because he bought a 100-acre farm.
Oh, okay.
And so until I finished my schooling, I lived with Grandma and Grandpa Spire,
Okay, and
and
which school was that?
St. Anthony's in Bellevue, Kentucky.
Okay.
And I would go to Indiana on the weekends. I would get on the Greyhound that would take me to Harrison. And there came an opportunity when this horse was for sale, and so Dad talked to the owner and his son that's going into college, and brought it up to the farm. And I loved her right away.
So you were still living in Kentucky yourself?
No, I'd been it then.
You had moved.
I had moved. I'd graduated.
Okay.
Yeah, I had graduated.
Nice. So
And-
somebody nearby had the horse?
I guess Dad saw it in an ad, you know,
Uh-huh.
a farmer's paper, and the boy was reluctantly selling it because he's going to college and he needed the money, and so I bought it. I bought her. She was Blaze. I had no idea how much I would enjoy her, because to just get on her and take off, it was fun.
Okay.
It was really fun. And yeah, so.
So would you ride her almost all the time?
Oh
or-
yeah, anytime I could. Well, the way the farm was set up, it was 95 acres on one side of the road and 5 on the other with a pond, and that's where we kept Blaze. She had all that to herself. And one of the reasons Dad wanted me to get it was when we had bad lightning storms, some cows would get hit by lightning. And you had to report it within 24 hours or his insurance wouldn't cover it. And so covering that much area after a rain, you know, it was so much easier with the horse than trotting around, like going all those places.
So you made good functional use out of her too.
Yeah. And I dated a fella that had a thoroughbred. I'm trying to think, it was a Kentucky thoroughbred, and I thought, oh my gosh. And he was very tall, and next to Blaze looked like a little tiny thing next to his. And so what he did was, one day he said, I'm going to ride over and we can ride for the day. And I drive, the horses. I said, oh, that would be fun. And so that's what we did. And the reason that he had that thoroughbred was it was blind in one eye. So he got it for a song, And then we just took a little too long during the day. So he had to leave his horse with Blaze, and Dad drove him home. Yeah, that was fun.
Did you name her Blaze?
No, I wanted to call her just what they named her. They named her Blaze.
That's pretty
And when I did have to sell her about 2.5 years later, because I was leaving home, I sold her to my best friend that had a horse, and anyway, she kept Blaze. And one year when we went back there, Charlotte was 16, and Blaze had a colt.
Come
It
on.
was her second colt, was full grown, and so Charlotte rode the colt, and I rode Blaze. That was cool.
Oh my God.
It was cool, yeah.
I remember that trip.
Yeah, because they teased you, the boys teased you. Do you remember that?
No.
Yeah.
But I remember that trip. It was a long trip we
Yeah.
all took, and I do
Yeah.
remember the that the horse
Horses,
one.
Yeah.
So we were visiting Norma or the
Yes,
Schlemmers?
yes.
No, not the
Yeah.
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 And so where was Blaze at? And how
Well,
did Blaze come back over?
Actually, just about a mile from there, her and her husband had bought
Okay.
the land, and they raised horses.
So Blaze never went that far away.
No, no, she didn't.
So when we visited
Oh, I know what I wanted to share because Blaze was so old by then,
Oh yeah.
you know?
Right.
And so I was trying to prepare all of him. Now she's going to look pitiful, you know, blah, blah, blah. And what I didn't know was when we got there, Joy told me, because I'm looking at Blaze and she's gorgeous. She's got the shiniest coat. And, you know, the face is usually right in this area is all wrinkled. It was gorgeous. She was just beautiful. I said, why is this? And she said, well, 7 years ago, they said I had to put her down because she had bad teeth. And the only way I could keep her is if I fed her grain. And she fed her grain all those years, which would have been very expensive, you know. And that's why she looked so beautiful, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
So
I had a lot of fun with her.
boy, she must have been pretty old by then.
I think we figured that she was probably almost 30 by then.
So surely we have some photographs from
Yeah.
that, right? We'll have to dig those up.
Right, and I told Charlotte she could have all of those because it was more meaningful to her, you know, than anyone else in the family. Because she rode the colt bareback. Yeah, she did. She sure did.
That rings a bell.
Yeah.
So wait, did you? So after graduating, you were home a lot with your dad on the
Right.
farm?
Yeah, I moved back in with Dad.
So you
out
would
on the farm.
ride Blaze all the time, and
Yeah,
must have been fun, huh?
yeah, it was.
Do you have any photos from back then?
Yes, and I also, before I got Blaze, I bought 2 calves, and then when they're grown enough, then I got the money from them when they went to the slaughter home.
Yeah.
And so that's how I could afford Blaze.
Nice.
Yeah. And I was working at that time too, you know.
Well, that was a fun little part of that trip that we took.
Yes, that's right.
I do
that's
remember that was a
right.
fun
And
time
we
period.
had the attitude, you guys were getting so old, the girls anyway. This may be our last trip,
Yeah.
and I believe it was.
Yeah.
We were gone about 6 weeks.
Yeah, that was a long one.
Yeah.
But I remember that time period with Joy and Norma and the
Yes,
boys and everything.
yeah.
That was a good time.
It was.
Anything else you remember about Blaze? So you
Well-
would ride her on the other side too of the street, the big area.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
on the 95 acres.
Right.
Yeah. Did you use a saddle or
Yeah,
you saddled
yes
her
and
out?
no, both.
So you would clean her and feed
Oh,
her
yeah.
and just.
Oh, yeah.
That's nice.
Just, yeah. It was, I don't know what to say. But it
Is
was-
Joy still around?
Joy is, but Blaze did finally die.
Right.
She did finally die, and she told me. Yeah, we kept in touch that whole time.
Now is Norma still around?
No, she passed away.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was
And-
she still
But
in
her
this?
sons are still.
So that was all Indiana.
That's right.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Harrison. It was West Harrison, Indiana, and Harrison, Ohio. Right in that area.
Okay.
It was very complicated because
Gotcha.
one went on daylight savings and the other didn't. And we were always saying fast time, slow time. What time is it? Fast
Right.
time, slow time.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's anything else about Blaze that you remember?
No, just lots of good times.
Oh, that was a good one.